Now we've installed Dataflex Link, we're going to create our first database. So over under the Dataflex Link plugin menu, we're going to click on Add New. And we'll just follow the wizard to help us set up a new database. So let's get started. So here we can see some instructions. So this is what we do when creating a database or a search engine. We'll start filling in the fields marked with a star, and then if a next button appears when you've chosen the database, you should fill in the sections which appear too. And then we'll click Create Database when we're ready. Once our database is created, we can add a data entry form using a shortcode. We'll be able to add data to that database. So here we go. So we're going to give our database our name. Let's call it. Let's. What we might do. Let's create an address book. We'll give that a go. So we're going to call this address book, and it'll just, off the top of my head, we'll just create names, addresses, telephone numbers for our friends, basically. So let's start. Because we haven't yet created a database, we can't use any of the other options. So this is our first database. So as the wizard has asked us to go to next, we'll click next. Now this is, we'll go through this later, we don't need this right now, so we'll click on next. And this is the confirmation that we will get once we've added an item to our database. This can be anything, so let's just put thank you, you have added an address successfully. And we'll click on next. Now, do we want email to be sent to our users, our database users? Right now, I don't think that's necessary, so we're just going to click next, and then we'll create our database. And that's done. We now have a database that's been created, which we can now customize. So the first thing to do for this database is have a look through it. So let's hide everything there, and then we'll go to main. And under main, we'll see we have a shortcode, which is the basic shortcode which we can use to add our form to pages. And I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to grab that shortcode. I'm going to copy it. So under pages, let's click on all pages. We have our data entry page. I'm going to edit that. We're now going to add the shortcode that we copied. Sometimes that doesn't work, so what I'm going to show you what happens here is if you click plus and we'll just type in short, we have our shortcode which we can add here, and we'll update that. Now our page is ready. We'll have a look at it. It's going to look quite strange. We haven't added any fields yet, and we've got mandatory fields showing, one of which is an email address to basically allocate an owner to a data entry, and we have a standard recaptcha, but we haven't got any keys for that. In another video I actually show you how to create a recaptcha set of keys, and we can use those to configure this properly. We've got the standard submit button and reset button there. So let's make it a little more like a data entry form. We'll get rid of this recaptcha. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our database, and we're going to click edit on our database. So the things that are showing is this recaptcha. So we're going to click delete remove that. So it says it's mandatory and can't be deleted. However, if we don't want to use it, this will now be disabled. So let's just disable that now. So that's grayed out, and we'll add single line text. We'll say this is required, and we'll just call this name, and we'll add that. Field updated. We'll refresh our page, and we can see name is added there. I'm just going to add a name and see if that gets added to our database. There we go, successfully added to our database. We've got some share options here, so I'm going to copy, and the copy to this entry has been added to our clipboard. So what I'm going to do is going to paste, and there is our Peter Jones